Kaitki Agarwal. I'm co-founder, president, and CTO of A5G Networks. A5G Network is a very young company that I founded at in you can say late 2020, November 2020, and A5G Networks is emerging leader in converged uh, mobile technology, and we are bringing the machine learning concepts to the mobile technology to make it more like self-driving network. And prior to that, I founded another company, Parallel Wireless, in 2012, grew it to 600 plus people, and then started this new venture called A5G Networks. So I would like to start with giving tribute to my loving and caring parents who always supported me. I'm thankful for everything they did for me, the way they raised me, and encouragement and teachings they gave me. I was the only child, so I got a lot of attention. And many folks used to advise my parents that you are spoiling the girl. That's not how you raise a girl. You need to teach her house chores, how to cook, don't fulfill her every wish, and so on. But my parents didn't worry about it. They let me be independent, and they let me make my own decisions. So I charted my own path and destiny without worrying about what society and my extended family was saying, or they would say if I didn't follow the norms that society has typically set for women. So I value not having to do what I don't want to spend my time on. Like, I want to spend my time on doing the innovation or making the technology work for greater good of the society. That's what I'm passionate about. And I never wanted to do common household chores, so I never did. I focused on, with my parents' support, what I wanted to do, and that was a uh, big thing for me, big support for me, and helped me with where I wanted to go. So my dad was in Indian government service as chief medical officer. So he used to get transferred to different locations, and every 2 to 3 years we were in new city or new town. And in some cases it was very small town that we used to get transferred to. So I had to change many schools. Some were good schools, some were not so good, depending on the size of the town, and they had very limited resources. So I became used to learning on my own to keep myself at advanced level and at pace with the city schools. So I had very few friends growing up, but whoever friends I had, they were very dear and near to me. They were very we had very strong bond between us. The reason why I had very few friends, because I had to change schools every few years, and those days there was no social media and smartphones. So every time I moved schools, I had to make new friends, and I lose touch with my existing friends. And since I was the only child, I used to spend a lot of time in thinking, reading, exploring, and studying. My mom used to work with me a lot during my studies. She used to work with me on literature and history, but for math and science, I was on my own. And I was good at math, but initially I was not a math whiz until sixth grade. So in sixth grade, I had a teacher who helped me with many fundamentals and instilled great confidence in me. After that, I was unbeatable in math. Similarly, I was not that good in the art in the beginning. I liked painting nature, and that helped me broaden my creativity and also allowed me to think from a different perspective. Initially, as I mentioned, I was not good at art. Once my art teacher gave everyone nature painting assignment, everyone painted the traditional mountain, sky, a house, a river, and tree in their painting. But I did not do that. My painting was completely different. It was like I had uh, a sunset and a scenic forest with a river and sunset reflection in the river. And so, of course, I got the highest grade. And at that time, I realized that painting nature is what I'm good at. So, similarly, during the course of my journey, my childhood, and even after growing up, I discovered a lot of my capabilities. Like, just to take a more recent example, during pandemic, I discovered that I like writing about technology, entrepreneurship, and leadership. So that's what I started doing and posting some of those articles on social media. So I typically, I mean, I never wanted to follow the crowd and always wanted to do something different. I liked exploring, finding new things, finding new ways of doing things. And since I wanted to do something different, even though my dad was a doctor, I didn't really want to be a doctor. I got interested in computers in 12th grade and decided to be a computer engineer. I got admission initially in like right after 12th grade in some of the engineering colleges, but I did not get computers as the first choice. So I decided to try again. Next year, I wanted to take a gap year and try it again next year. Many people discouraged and suggested that I join the regular college and prepare for the engineering entrance exam while doing BSc. That would be low risk, and I will not waste 1 year. Basically, I tried attending the BSc in a college for a couple of months, but I didn't really like the college I was going to. I didn't feel I fit in there. So I basically decided to focus 100% on my entrance exam preparation and spent time doing all the work that was needed to make me successful there. Basically, I wanted to just focus on one thing, and my parents supported my decision. And with that, I got into University of Roorkee in computer science like I wanted. So that was a great journey in my childhood. Um, I was a very shy and introvert person. At least that's how I was growing up. I wanted to stay away from people, but as I started interacting with people at IIT Roorkee, then in my job, I became more comfortable in people with people interaction. And I don't think today I will call myself an introvert. I like meeting and talking to people. I like making new friends. I like helping others. I've been mentoring people and other entrepreneurs with their companies as they're starting their companies. And I think the introvert nature was not my natural thing. It just happened because I was the only child and I didn't have many people around me to talk to. As my circle increased, I saw an opportunity to change and did what was needed for my overall growth. Another thing I feel is that um, I liked talking about the topics of my interest, and my interest was mainly in technology. So there were not many people around me sharing the common interest and the same mindset until I started my college and my professional life. So that was the reason I wasn't very conversant with people around me. I like challenges. I'm not a perfectionist, but I want to see continuous improvement. I want to keep raising the bar and make things better. In my opinion, learning and improvements should never stop. I don't go by what others could not do. I believe in my potential, and it doesn't scare me if someone mentions to me that something is very difficult. I want to do it even more. So, in my opinion, once you pick a course, you just need to focus, train yourself, and then just get it done. And as I mentioned, I always tell people we need to keep raising the bar and keep trying to do things better. So that's basically a brief about my personal life and my journey. I would say my first milestone was to um, when my dad was posted in a small town. My first milestone was to stop whining about it and actually chart my course to get uh, the things done that is basically drive myself to do the self learning so that I can stay at pace with the city school. So that was my first milestone. I think there was a time when you have to realize, even though you are a young kid, that if whatever you want to do in life, whatever you want, you have to uh, push yourself hard to achieve it. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Nobody is else like is going to spoon feed you. You have to build your own future. So that was the first milestone. The second milestone was getting into IIT Roorkee. So that was, as I mentioned, that computer was my passion. I only wanted to do computer engineering, and I did not want to compromise on that. So I did whatever was needed to make it happen. And I did not get discouraged by um, what people were saying, that it is very difficult, almost impossible task, and so many people tried. Forget about girls, there are not many girls who try for such an ambitious goals. Even boys don't succeed in getting into the engineering college. So I did not get discouraged. I believed that if I try hard, I can make it happen and I can do it. So that's what I did. So these are the two milestones I would like to mention. And actually, the third one was I pointed out my achievements in math. I was not that good in math, and then my teacher helped me build my confidence. And once I realized, it was like something clicks in your mind, and then you realize that, yeah, uh, this is already there in you. You just have to make use of it. You have to realize and start using that as your strength. So these were the three milestones I would like to mention. So yeah, in professional life, I can go through my professional journey. So I finished my engineering in 1993 and then started my first job in Delhi. It was a like my first job was a great company for new graduates with a lot of perks and very friendly and supportive management team. I stayed there for about a couple of years and then I moved to the USA. So that's where I would say my first milestone was when I joined a company called Excel Switching in USA. There was a company that was pioneering the programmable telephony switches. It was a great team with very supportive and entrepreneurial leadership. I loved it there and got fast career growth with leadership and management role. That was a big recognition for me, considering I only had 4 to 5 years of total experience. And company did very well with IPO first, and then followed by acquisition by Lucent, that is Nokia today, for about $1.9 billion. And that made me feel really great that as a team we created great technology and value. It was not any individual but the team that made the difference. So being part of that team and getting recognized for my individual efforts and getting into the managerial role at that level was a great achievement, and it helped me significantly in creating a strong foundation for rest of my career. So I would like to call that as one of the milestones in my professional life. Then the second milestone, I would say, founding a company in 2012. So I founded a company named Parallel Wireless, and our goal was to transform and disrupt the wireless industry. Yeah, so that was the second milestone, I would say. I grew the company to around 600 plus people, and as founder and chief product officer, I built the geographically distributed teams and operations in US, UK, Israel, and India. Um, I positioned it as one of the leaders in the industry for disrupting the traditional radio access network in the mobile technology space with open radio access network. I evangelized the open radio access network, and it is being supported by the entire industry. It's supported by large mobile operators such as Vodafone, Telefonica, and many prominent vendors such as Intel, Qualcomm, and several others. While this was an accomplishment on the business front, I would also like to point out that I had the opportunity to build a culture of innovation, openness, and transparency. We had the lowest attrition rate in the industry. I led by example. I had very good relationships with my team, built a strong patent portfolio, encouraged the team for filing patents, doing innovation. And then I filed more than 50 patents and along with my team. And I also used that opportunity to um, grow the team and led the team with empathy. So that I would say is my second milestone, and that efforts paid off. Our product made an impact on the society and helped people. Actually, when we first launched our product in 2014 in Europe with a tier one operator, we received several thank you emails directly coming to us uh, by the recipients, by the residents, and the folks in that area. One lady, she had to earlier drive her daughter hours away to a library because they did not have any connectivity in their like close to where they lived. And her daughter used to go to library and complete her homework there, and then she used to drive her back. So our technology enabled them to have the internet where they lived, and it made it possible to get coverage. So the mother didn't have to drive her daughter every day. She thanked us and even wanted us to extend the coverage in other areas who are having the similar problem. And it was amazing to see the positive impact and our technology made in people's life. And at that time, I realized that making a positive impact and change in someone's life is much more satisfactory and much more valuable than making millions of dollars in a business transaction. So these are some of the milestones I would like to mention in my professional journey. So, as you know, we all use our mobile phones, and our mobile phones connect with a mobile operator's network. And we get connectivity. We have our laptops connecting to our home internet, wired internet, and that's how you browse the internet and so on. But there are several areas in where there is no connectivity, whether it's wireless or wired connectivity. In many cases, operators don't see a business case to provide the connectivity in those areas. So with our product, it made it possible for operators to deploy that technology in those remote areas to provide coverage and connectivity. So that's how the lady I was mentioning, she got the internet connectivity at her home where she lived, and then Did not have to drive her daughter back to the library to access the internet so she can submit her homework. So basically, Steve Jobs is my role model. Steve Jobs' vision and how he built the business, the guidance he provided, his beliefs resonate very well with me. He valued product and technology. I value product and technology a lot. I admired his critical thinking skills. He did not follow the crowd. He had very different perspective and he knew how to realize and show it to people. While he had a vision that may scare people and make it look unreal, he had a way to realize it and execute well to make it a great product. Apple is a company that I admire where org structure favors engineering and technology at all levels, like even at exec level. Not many companies are similar to that. So, Steve Jobs is who I admired during my professional journey. So, my mother influenced me significantly. I always uh, like watched her how she is like taking care of things even if there are stressful situations, things are tough. She did not give up. She worked hard and tried whatever was needed, did whatever was needed to make things smooth, make things go smooth for everyone else around her. Like she took lot of burden, she took lot of challenges, but she made sure that I don't feel anything like I have the best of everything and I don't feel any shortage of anything like deficiency of any resources. So even during the tough times in our family, um, even the financial constraints, she made sure that I have all the resources available to me during my engineering and um, encouraged me um, wherever I needed the encouragement. So I always admired her perseverance and hard work and ability to stay calm in the tough situations. I can tell you one instance of my childhood. So basically, I had a very good friend, and I am still connected with her now. I got connected with her after like um, 20 years, thanks to Facebook. So she found me somehow on Facebook and connected with me. So we used to go to school together. I was, I think, in fifth grade at that time, and there was a tour from school that was going to, I think we were going to some zoo or some like field trip. And I didn't plan to go on that trip earlier. But on that day, my friends convinced me to just go to that tour. And I was, of course, not thinking through things that I have to first go and tell my parents about it, and so that they don't get worried. But I just uh, went on the trip and then wrote a note for my parents, and then asked one of my friends who was not going to give this note to my parents. And of course she did, but my parents got really worried if what happened to me and so on. But my best friend who went with me, she kind of covered for me when we came back. So I and there were some other instances too where I got in trouble. I think I'm quite likely to get in trouble based on what I do. So she always had my back in a way. So uh, that's what I want to say in terms of. So they she influenced me quite a bit as a friend as well. Like I don't know how she keeps herself calm, so calm in any type of event or whatever is happening. And I have never seen her losing her temper. So she's the most gentle and calm person I have ever known in my life. So I did learn things from her, just watching her, how she handled the situations, and how um, she can bring the like, even if everyone in the room is tense, how she can bring that tension down and make everyone comfortable. So those are some of the things I admired her for. In my opinion, success is not a destination. It is a journey where we continue to move forward to achieve the next thing and realize the next dream. So every milestone is something you can be happy about. And every milestone is part of your uh, success. And sometimes we get so impatient during our journey, but the key is to staying focused, being creative, and open minded. What uh, someone defines as success is really an individual perspective. Everyone may have their own definition of success. Like some people may want to build a unicorn company and define that as their success. Others may call changing people's life for better by doing community work as their success. So it is very context driven, it's different for different people. And I don't view success as like one thing you are running after. I view success as something you once, even if you achieve a small milestone during your journey, it's a success. You should be happy about it and don't miss that moment of happiness. A lot of time what happens is people keep running after the bigger goal, keep chasing the bigger dream, and they miss out on the micro successes that are happening on the way. So, and they don't celebrate it, don't feel happy about it. So that's what I would like to say, that don't miss out on those small successes or small moments of happiness. Celebrate those. So I have always learned from my failure. Of course, everyone goes through success and failures, ups and downs in their journey. And um, I don't really call, if something doesn't work out, I don't really call it a failure. I call it a learning, because learning is what will help you um get to the next milestone that you want to achieve. So I can say that when in 12th grade, I tried to get into the engineering college and get the computer science as my branch of study. I didn't get it. I could call it a failure, or I could just call it a learning experience. And it gave me perspective on some of the strengths I needed to build, and it uh, gave me the opportunity to have an open mind, to think about what I need to do, what um, like, instead of just being sad about it, it made me stronger. It made me build my resilience, and try with um, try with even more strength to get to my goal where I want to be. And similarly, the new company I have started, it was not an easy decision to come out of a well functioning running company, operational company, that is where you're getting very high salary in a good position to start a new journey where you're starting almost from ground zero. So it was a big decision for me. I won't call it a failure, but it was a big decision for me. And I think I did a really good thing coming out of that comfort zone, challenging myself and trying something new and starting another company again. Because in last 1 year, I have learned so much, and there were challenging times, uncertainties, but that helped me build my resilience. It did not discourage me. So that's what I would say. It's not really a failure, it's really a learning experience. Yeah, I did face a lot of challenges. And actually, initially, when you see some of these challenges, it it's hard to believe that you have like how I shouldn't say believe, I should say it's hard to recognize that as challenge. Sometimes you can take it for granted that yeah, maybe that's the norm, but then slowly it starts hitting you. And I personally faced two problems. One was that like I was always very technical and passionate about wanting to do things and aggressive, and I'm ambitious and competitive. So I do come out as someone that intimidates people. Uh, and So sometimes people are not very comfortable with me. Like one is that I'm women, then I'm aggressive and I'm competitive. So that kind of intimidates them. And then there were particularly two challenges I would say I faced. Was that people who realized my knowledge and potential, they saw me as a competitor, someone who can challenge and or replace them. So they took advantage of stereotypical aspect and did not really give me the opportunity or took my opportunity. So they had good relationships with the decision makers, and I did not. That's where I felt I'm at a disadvantage because I'm not in their inner circle. I'm not part of their trust circle. So I could not um, build that path to get where um, others could, even though I was better in many aspects. And the other challenge I faced was that people who already assumed things based on the stereotypical images that this is the personality who fits well for this role because they have a stereotypical image in their mind. They didn't even try to understand my capabilities and my potential. They just wanted to go with something they are comfortable with and someone they are comfortable with as a person. So they just wanted to work with the people with the existing relationships. And of course, as a woman, it was difficult for me to build that level of relationships, that kind of relationship in a male dominated workplace. So when I was an engineer in the uh, early on in my career, it was not such a big challenge. But as I grew in my career, it became more challenging for me. I had to work harder than others, and just that's why I want to fight for uh, eliminating the unconscious bias and the stereotypical mentality to reduce the gender gap and enable others who may run into the same problem. I want to make sure they get what they deserve. And another thing, I also realized that when women are leading teams, right? they are the ones who will make it a success. They are the ones who feel they are accountable. But unfortunately, people treat them as a women first and leader second, and that kind of creates a challenging situations. Like women's confidence, decisiveness, belief is sometimes taken as stubbornness. But if a male leader is doing the same thing, they will be called a tough leader, and they will be appreciated and recognized for that, respected for that. But women are usually not really recognized for that. Women are expected to be gentle and caring and nice, but take the tough decisions. And when they take the tough decision, they don't really get much backing, from as the male leaders would have gotten. So that's the challenge I see typically in my world. And being a women leader, as I mentioned, becomes more and more difficult as you grow in your career. Male leaders are more comfortable with other male leaders, and they prefer to work and even mentor uh, other male leaders. As we grow to senior level positions, executive level positions, it gets even more lonely for women. Women are in the If women are in the topmost position, it's like, let's say you make your way to get to that top level position, it's difficult to get the support and stay in that position for women, because they don't have the backing like a male counterpart. Nobody, like, they let's say in the topmost position, you're interacting with the board. And in a typical scenario for a male leader, they would have had backing, because they know them not just at the professional level but also at the personal level. And that type of relationship is usually not there with women. So in the corporate world, it's very difficult to make your way through things. It's not just like, part of it is being a woman and building the relationships, and getting visible and recognized. It's also the corporate culture. You have to, I mean, I should say that I am not a person who is a kiss up person. Like, I'll go and meet people and try to say things what they like. I am what I am, and I say things what I like and what I believe in. And sometimes that challenges people, that scares people, and there are very few leaders who can take the truth, who can handle the truth, who can see the positive aspect of doing things in a disruptive way, in a different way. That was the reason why I wanted to start my own company. So you can do good things in the industry, make changes in the industry, fix things where it really needs innovation. So um, I think I would say that it's very important to have a very cohesive founding team and a cohesive vision. As long as we are all working towards the same goal, companies are successful, they keep flourishing, and things go well. But if there is a point where people start running with their own agenda, and that cohesiveness is not there, and the different mindsets start coming in, different vision come in, that's when there are generally some problems. And um, the solution is to pivot at that time, and bring everyone at the same page, align everyone to make sure that everyone is speaking the same language. So that was one of the challenge. In as the company grew, we were like so busy doing our things that alignment and cohesiveness got lost. So it was very much needed to bring everyone again on the same page, align everyone uh, to make sure that we are focusing on the same thing and not really doing different things. So that was one of the learning. I would say it was mostly related to the growth. And then the other learning I would like to mention is that there are a lot of external forces that impact the overall success of the company, the timing. There are certain uncertainties that come in depending on the external factors, how the market is performing, how technology is progressing, the new competitors, and so on. So, all these different external forces, market forces, we need to be prepared for that. We need to be more proactive, think through these things. And that's where having the right strategy comes in. So, strategy is very important, and thinking strategically, not just from like within the um, within the domain of the company and industry, but also uh, having a bigger view, a broad perspective of uh, the different industries. Maybe there is a cross learning opportunity from different industry, different domain that we can do to make it even more successful. So those are some of the learnings I would like to mention. So I would say get a broader perspective. I should have done MBA sooner. That gave me a lot of things, lot of new tools in my toolbox, if you want to put it that way. I was very technical, very technology oriented person, working with my colleagues at MBA who are coming from different backgrounds, different industries, different perspective, opened up my mind quite a bit, broadened my perspective significantly. I would also say do more networking from early on, not just keep doing the technical work heads down, do more networking. And even though as a woman it's difficult to build relationship, you have to keep trying and not really stand back and avoid uh, and stay away from doing it. Get involved in the community. So there are a lot of good communities that are available for both actually men and women to do the networking, to grow yourself and talk to each other, help others. Don't just rely on what your work environment can provide. You have to go out and get involved in some of these communities. Um, and in my entire career, I did not have any mentor or a coach. So I learned everything myself, but that, of course, took a lot of time. I would advise my younger self to find and work with a mentor. I have been mentoring when I get opportunity as an entrepreneurial leader. I'm a Thai charter member and a mentor for some of the new startups. I'm speaking in Women in Technology Global Conference in June about women professional growth, how they can grow up in their career ladders and be successful in that role. And I would like to share my experience to make bigger impact. If you look at our society since ages and even today, women are always presented in the support role, not in the lead role. And media is a great influencer. Take events, movies. at our home environment, workplace, everywhere. And media is also the one that is a model creator, and in other words you can say that creates a stereotype in our minds, in people's mind, whoever is watching that media or even the social media. So current model of women is in support role. It's difficult for people to accept women in the leadership role. We need to address that and change it using the media and influence it through that angle. Whether it's social media, or we should make more movies, TV serials, write stories about women leading, and like basically women in the leadership role, women leading, and um, male in the support role. So that will help with some of the stereotypical mindset. Because every time I watch a movie, women, like you see, right? Typically, it's in the support role. They are mostly like a support actor. Hero is doing everything, and the heroine is just there to sing and dance. So that's something we have to take help of media and influence people through that channel, because media is a great influencer. So I want to so I care a lot about my team. So I have started a company to grow it, to create a disruption in a different area of the technology in the mobile network. So my goal few years from now, where I see myself, is making the company a success, not just for making a lot of money. That's not my goal. I don't see myself as a very rich person. I want to see myself making other people happy. And if someone has believed in me and joined me to join my journey in making this company a success, I would like to create more value for them. I want to create more value for the team who believed in me. So that's what my goal is. And that will be my charter. And in future, if I start another company, I will have the same goal. I will start the company not to generate billions of dollars. I will start a company to create opportunity for others, because I meet so many people and I feel so you can say disappointed about it, that they are people with such a great potential and they are not happy in their current job, they are not happy in their current role, but they are just staying there because they have to get a paycheck, and they have so much potential. So I want to create companies, I want to create opportunities for them, so that they can join me and be happy about what they're doing, what they're building, and they can feel true happiness. I think, I mean, maybe from my mom, that comes from my mom. I always saw her, no matter how tired she is, if I ask her that, or if I tell her I'm hungry, she will just jump, and I don't know how she will get her energy from and make the most complex thing for me that I want to eat. So I think that's what I saw, and it somehow is kind of built in naturally in me to have that level of energy. I want to visit, I want to go on a world tour. That's what I would like to do. So I want to visit all the places that I typically see in pictures, all the nice places. I want to be close to nature. I like nature. I like walking. I like being close to nature. So that's what I will. That's what I would like to do.